This is a phone, and this is a string of phones attached all communicating across thousands of miles. Normally communication is good, however, it's being abused in today's society. A quick scroll through comment sections and you will be able to find hundreds of people using slander, afraid of nothing because the barrier between them and the reader. Not only this, but our devices have also caused an outbreak of laziness. With the 7 deadly sins all in the palms of our hands, why even go out instead of rot where it's comfortable? With the internet being so accessible, it's so easy to find people who you can like and meet. You guys even have the same hobbies, and likes, and dislikes, and oh, you've started your own march. Boy, I sure hope that this will stay peaceful and no violence will come from this extremist group that has been formed. Okay, pause. Let's go back and see how civil discussions were spoken. Speaking amongst the Greeks, we find our key word arete. This means the individual excellence of man across 3 main groups. Mind, which is your intellect, body, which is your strength and physical fitness, and soul, which is your morality and how you're able to think in benefit of society. Taking these ideas back into the modern world, we find ourselves upon a school of excellence. These schools of excellence would be designed as a breathing campus, meaning the classrooms would be centered around a massive, open-air garden. In the classrooms, instead of static desks, classrooms would feature a garage-style glass door that would be open during warmer months. This open-wall philosophy would physically remove the barrier between the student and nature. This is not just for looks, or for letting in warm air. The central garden would be a working agricultural lab. Instead of reading out biology off slides, the students at the School of Excellence would be able to participate in in-person labs. This would connect both the physical side of Arete as well as the intellectual side of Arete. In doing so, the students will not only be able to connect these two and learn to move as a conscious and a body together, but they will also be much more focused as the lessons would be hands-on. These schools would not just be limited to this, as another element about the School of Excellence brings to its students is that it would be able to actively integrate subjects such as math with direct connections to physical activities. This determines the name kinetic education. Essentially, kinetic education is a form of learning which enables students to learn physics through active sports such as calculating the trajectory of a ball going through the air. Not only this, but the students would also have access to a round table named the Moral Arena. In this arena, students would solve high-stakes ethical dilemmas, and they must defend their positions using logic, virtue, and ethics. This enables the students a jumpstart into teaching the students' moral compass, giving ethical, moral power to our future leaders. Next up is the challenge of the agoge. This challenge would be spread across the states, and would be the measure of how to find out which city has the strongest people both in their mind and body. Unlike a certain novel series, this will not feature violence and instead will be much more like having a favorite sports team. Only you are able to participate if you choose to do so. Oh, hey Judy, since you're here, would you like to cover the rest?
Yes, I got it. Okay, listen up. Every 3 months, folks from big cities all across the United States would step up and be evaluated in 3 different arenas. Fair, structured, and all about making the community stronger. First, there's the physical arena. And no, this isn't about looking good for a poster, it's about real functional fitness. Strength, endurance, agility. The kind of muscle that actually helps when something goes wrong. Whether it's disaster relief or heavy lifting at a moment's notice. This is about being ready to serve. Next comes the intellectual exam. It's proctored, serious, and built entirely around logic-based questions. The goal: make sure everyone's keeping their minds sharp. No zoning out from routine work. This keeps people thinking clearly, staying curious, and pushing back against that mental fog. And finally, moral challenge. This one's all about morality. Participants are put into tough ethical situations, and they've got to think their way through them. Points aren't given for selfish answers. They're earned through real moral reasoning, showing integrity, fairness, and a genuine commitment to doing what's right. Because at the end of the day, It's not just about being strong or smart, it's about being good too.
The last idea that would be based on Arête is the halls of excellence. These halls would be designed as grand commons using multiple facilities that blend indoor and outdoor spaces, thus connecting the people to the earth and eliminating the feeling of confinement. At the heart of every hall, there would be a sunken amphitheater or debate chamber. These would not be for quiet study, instead, they would be built upon the idea of active discourse. Here, we would see the transformation from socializing and small talk to an active refinement of one's erudition and moral reasoning. This is very important due to the research on the topic stating moral development is not a passive process but an active one that requires specific types of social interaction. With this in mind, it will allow for these halls to serve the purpose of having a space where an active interaction and learning is able to be achieved. This doubles down on itself due to the people surrounding themselves to learn as well as to learn with others who are just as eager as they are. Arête holds the mind, spirit, and body, and with these halls, the body would not be hidden in windowless basements. Instead, they are integrated into the garden focused on architecture, which would emphasize functional, outdoor training that mimics the natural movement of the human body. Having the power to think and create comes at the cost of nutrition, and one of the core tenets of Arête is that the virtue of the soul cannot exist in a poisoned body. This commands that the halls of excellence would operate on a zero-processed food mandate and only allow the freshest of foods to enter one's body. The food and drink within these halls would consist exclusively of real food, which is organic, locally sourced, and devoid of processed sugars or synthetic additives. These centers would also have a community kitchen where farmers could sell directly to the public. By removing the added process the middleman would bring, the halls would be able to make quality nutrition for the community.